Here we have the Michigan State Spartans, a team that, I'm going to be unbiased here, but let's talk about them. They had a pretty disappointing year last year. It was very, very disappointing. And obviously, another year under Mel Tucker, you look for them to be a lot better than what they were. They did show flashes last year of greatness. They ended up beating one of their rivals. They went to the big house and came away with a victory, which everyone loved. I loved that. It was very, 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 very good for them to beat that team up north. But Michigan State, overall, they struggled. And under new coach, obviously dealing with everything that went on in 2020, I will give them a pass. But you have to look for them to have a major improvement this year. A mark for them should be to try to win at least 6 games and bowl eligible. I think that's possible, but we have to get into the schedule to see how they're able to get into that mark of 6 games. On top of that, they need some of their players to continue to step up. I like Ricky Wright. He's a tremendous wide receiver, and I love Xavier Henderson. He's from Ohio. He is going to have to prove himself that he's the leader of this team. He's a senior. He's been playing about 3-4 years starting. I think he understands the system by now. Even with a new coach, he has the respect of that locker room. Maybe Trent Gillissen on offense, he can also step up. But for Michigan State, they start off at Northwestern, a team that just got done winning the Citrus Bowl, having 2 first-round picks, going to a Big Ten championship game. Michigan State, they're going to be heavily underdog. They will not be the favorites. Northwestern will be heavily favorite in that game. For Michigan State, they have to come in, not be intimidated. Northwestern Stadium is not that big. They don't have their crowd isn't as big as other teams they face, but still, Northwestern is going to be playing hard. They have to be ready, and then they get to come home, a home opener against Youngstown State. That's a game that the majority of people will definitely pick Michigan State to be favored, but they can't just sleepwalk to that game because right after that they have to go to Miami. Manny Diaz, Miami. Obviously, we've seen their quarterback get hurt in the bowl game, but Miami is always tough. They play great non-conference. Their struggle has been in the ACC where they have struggled. So they're going to be up, and they're going to be ready to play Michigan State. Can Michigan State live up to that challenge? And it's going to be a big deal for them to make sure that they're going to Miami. So there's going to be a lot of distractions. I'm not going to say keep them in the hotel room, but they're college students in Miami. It's a lot of distractions. There's a lot of distractions for professional teams, NBA and NFL, to go there, let alone college students. So how are they going to handle that is going to show how well they're going to do in that game and when they arrive. Next, they play Nebraska. Scott Frost has been pretty much a disappointment at Nebraska. This is a game that it will be a toss-up because both teams struggled last year. If Michigan State's at home, who knows that they have to continue to just stay the course, work hard, because I know their defense is going to be great this year. After that, they get another great, favorable matchup in Western Kentucky in the non-conference. This is a game that Michigan State, most fans would expect them to win this game. Western Kentucky is playing, it's not a Power 5 team. But they're still Division I, so you have to respect them as such. And then after that, they go to Rutgers, which is not going to be an easy game. Greg Schiano has Rutgers improved, and they're only going to get better. That's a game that Michigan State is going to have to be ready to play for. Same with Indiana. These road games, they don't get any easier, I tell you that much. Then they come home, and they play their arch rival, Jim Harbaugh, but they're at home. And they beat them last year, so maybe there will be a revenge tour in place for that team of North and Harbaugh. But Michigan State, they have to be ready to play as a rival. I don't need to say much. They're going to be up. They're going to be ready to play this game. Following that, they go to Purdue. Purdue, I don't know what Purdue is going to be. They lost, obviously, Rondale Moore for him getting drafted. So offensively, who knows what they're going to look like. That is a game that is going to be a toss-up, but that's a game that fans are going to expect Michigan State to try to win, to be able to come away with that victory when they come home and face Maryland. Maryland has Tua's little brother. Their offense looked really great at the spring game. I don't know too much about the defense in Maryland, but this could be a game where Michigan State's offense is going to have to come through and play. play really well, because if they don't play well, it's going to be not a good game at home. And then they have to come back on the road again and go to Columbus and play in the Horseshoe. That's not an easy task at all. That's very tough. Michigan State is going to have to bring their A-plus game to come away with a victory. This is the game that Ohio State will be heavily favored in. But if Michigan State can, play spoiler, come in, they've came to Columbus, and unfortunately I've seen it before. They come away with a game-winning kick and the guys windmilling all over your field. Yeah, so it's possible for them to come in to Columbus and get a victory, but they're going to have to play a great game, keep it close, and not turn the ball over. If they can do that, because Ohio State's situational offensive quarterback, they don't know who their quarterback is. So if you can exploit whoever's at quarterback, play good defense, not turn the ball over, run the ball, they're going to be in great shape. Put pressure on whoever's playing quarterback to step up in a big-time game, because they're going to be a top 10 team looking to go to another Big Ten championship, possibly a college football playoff. They're going to have everything on the line. Michigan State will not have nothing to lose or everything to play for as well. And then they wrap it up coming home to Penn State. This is a game where James Franklin is, not on a hot seat, but Penn State did not have the best season last year. He's going to have those guys vastly improved. That's a very tough finish, Ohio State and then playing Penn State. Michigan State is going to have to really ball in a non-conference and come away with victories, and also take care of business at home in an early stretch if they want to have a possibility of getting to a bowl game.